She looked me dead in the eyes and said, "You wouldn't understand. You're just a nail tech." I smiled, but inside, I never forgot it. Not because it hurt, but because I knew something she didn't. Life has a funny way of humbling people who think they're untouchable. Her name was Caroline, always on the phone, always ordering people around, always late, and always with her nose just a little too high in the air. She had money, a big house in the gated neighborhood, an Audi she parked across 3 spots like it was allergic to door dings, and a husband who, according to her, was lucky to have her. I wasn't jealous. I've seen enough over the years to know money doesn't buy peace, but Caroline, she wore her status like armor until the day she took it off. She wasn't a mean person exactly, just dismissive. Like if you didn't have designer shoes or a perfect body, you didn't matter. She'd say things like, "I don't believe in therapy. My husband just needs to man up. My kids better not grow up soft." And she had this little move. She'd accidentally drop her Prada purse, always just out of reach, then glance at me, like it was my job to pick it up. And I did, because that's what she loved, when people did what she liked, when the world bent to her routine. I remember once, I asked her how she was doing. Genuinely. She looked up from her phone and laughed. "You wouldn't get it, Lucy. You're just a nail tech." I laughed too, but not because it was funny, because I saw the panic behind her eyes. See, people who feel secure in their lives, they don't need to put others down. They don't say things like that. And sure enough, the cracks started to show. She stopped wearing her ring, mentioned a nanny I'd never heard about. And one day, after her appointment, she just sat in her car for over an hour, not moving, just staring at the steering wheel. Then she disappeared, missed her next appointment, didn't respond to my reminder text, gone. I figured she'd moved on to some fancy spa or resort, or maybe she just didn't need nails anymore. But 2 months later, the door jingled, and there she was. No makeup, no ring, no Audi, just Caroline. She sat down quietly and said, "Can we not do gels today? I just need to sit." I didn't say a word. I just held her hands. That's when she whispered, "He left me for his assistant." She said it like a confession, not a complaint, like someone who had been holding her breath for years, and finally exhaled. For the next hour, she told me everything, the fights, the loneliness, the way she felt like a side character in her own life. She looked down at her hands, shaking, and said softly, "I don't even know who I am without all of it." So I told her what I wish someone had told me years ago. The stuff we use to feel important, that's not who we are, not the house, not the husband, not the bag on our arm, not even the job title. Because if I'm just a nail tech, then I'm also just a therapist, just a secret keeper, just someone who sees what people try to hide. I've held the hands of women going through divorce, grief, heartbreak, even jail. And you know what I've learned? People don't need to be fixed. They just need to be seen. Caroline didn't need polish that day. She needed someone who wouldn't pretend everything was fine. Someone who saw her as more than what she lost. So yeah, maybe I am just a nail tech. But you know what I've learned from 20 years of holding hands? You can't judge the value of someone by their job title, because the real work isn't always on the resume. So the next time someone tries to label you by what you do, smile. Then live your truth loud. Because people like Caroline, they eventually learn it's not about the label. It's about the life you build beneath it.